Howdy folks, it's Age of the Hunting Gear Guy. If you've got one of these WKs, you probably have like a Magpul cover or something like here just to keep the brass from dinging up the aluminum. But there are a couple of shell deflectors that people are designing and selling to these days. There's one for right around $45, looks pretty nice, and there's another one for $20, and it's $20, and I went for the one that was $20 because I like that it's $20. So I'm going to go ahead and install it. It comes in just a little bag here, and the guy who wrote it was kind enough to say, "Hey, thanks, I like your videos." So, hey Kyle, let's pop your shell deflector on my WK here. Now inside the kit we get the deflector itself. This is going to go inside that slot, and then that's going to be our deflector that our shells are going to butt up against and then deflect off of. We've got a little holder on the back here, and that's going to be held in place by this little doohickey here. So this round part here is going to go inside the gun, and then that screw is going to hold it on there. Of course, make sure your gun is empty before you start. I always check my guns, of course, before I do the video. The whole point of showing this is to, you know, if anyone's watching along, to kind of remind them to do it as well. I'm just going to pop that guy forward there. This gun should be clean, so I shouldn't have to be too careful about any crud coming off on it. Okay, I'm just taking that stuff out so I can get better access to this. I'm taking off the old guy. And does it slide in there? Okay, it's got a little bit of a catch right there, and that's going to catch on the inner lip of this thing. There we go. I can feel it catching in there. Pull this guy off. Yeah. Oh, you know what? It'll be hard to show you guys here, but there's actually a little. See that spot there? It's actually perfectly set up for this thing here. Sorry, this is gonna be hard to show, guys, but that's that plastic piece sitting right there. So it's very flush down. It's actually locking basically right in place there. So I'm gonna go ahead and torque it down. I'm trying to show you guys this, but that's kind of impossible. Here we go. That nut's getting pushed out. Sorry, I gotta hold it down with my thumb. There we go. Very cool. And very secure. So now that guy is very rigidly on there, and that with this deflector basically 90 degrees to where the cases are going to be coming out and hit it, it's going to murder the brass, but that's okay. I don't really reload my brass anyways. All right, finally there's what it looks like installed. It's super secure. It's grabbing with the plastic right there, and then with that plastic in that little rear key, and then that nut on the front here. So it's really not going anywhere. I can see why. I think I know why this is flat here, because this can be printed flat, and you can go with like a whole bunch of layers here to make it really strong, so that this will stand up to abuse from cases. Like I said, I don't really reload my cases, so I don't really care. I just wanted them to like really get out of there and not mark up the side of my receiver. And I think for 20 bucks, this looks like it'll do the trick. Thanks. All right, just before I leave you guys here, because you're screwing into plastic, like this is a metal bolt into a metal nut underneath there, but you are screwing into like a 3D printed part here, so don't torque it down too much. The other thing is, I had to go back to the eBay listing to figure out what this O-ring's for. It's actually for that rear pin. There's a kind of like a post that goes from the top to the top receiver to the bottom. And if you've got too much play in between yours, you can use this this O-ring to reduce the play. I don't have a lot of play in mine, so I'm not gonna install it in mine. But it is really thoughtful to include this like tight, like cheap little part, but handy if you want to, again, improve your WK for less money. So that was the brass deflector for the WK180C. Thanks for watching.